Path of Exile 2 is gaining attention fast, but one detail explains why. The starting point is the video titled Path of Exile 2, Duelist Deep Dive and 055 Event Lead, which gives us a clear angle for the story. Every gameplay source in this edit is checked against Path of Exile 2 before it is accepted, which keeps unrelated games out of the timeline. From there, the useful things to watch are combat, movement, world design, progression, presentation, and any changes visible in the newest footage. A trailer can make almost any game look impressive, so the more valuable signal is consistent gameplay across multiple independent sources. If those sources show the same strengths, the hype around Path of Exile 2 becomes much easier to take seriously. It is also worth separating genuine gameplay changes from editing, cinematics, or marketing shots that may not represent normal play. For players, the real question is whether the game offers enough depth to stay interesting after the first few hours. For creators, Path of Exile 2 is useful because new trailers, updates, player spikes, and discoveries can each become a separate story without changing the channel niche. That is why this ItsGameVanta video keeps the subject narrow and uses neutral B-roll only as support rather than replacing the actual game footage. As more information appears, the next signals to watch are official updates, release timing, Steam activity, community reaction, and new gameplay demonstrations. Those signals will tell us whether Path of Exile 2 is building durable interest or only a short burst of attention. For now, the verified footage is enough to put Path of Exile 2 on the radar. The next move is simple. Watch what changes, compare new footage with what came before, and see whether the game keeps earning attention. Would you play Path of Exile 2, or are you waiting to see more? Before going further, it helps to separate hype from useful information. With Path of Exile 2, the important question is not whether one clip looks impressive, but whether several independent signals point in the same direction. That means looking at official footage, recent announcements, player interest, community discussion, and the pace at which new videos about Path of Exile 2 are being watched. Gameplay footage matters here because it gives us something concrete to compare. Movement, combat, environments, interface design, progression, and overall pacing can tell a much clearer story than a promotional headline on its own. At the same time, a trailer never shows everything. Edited footage is designed to highlight the strongest moments, so any conclusion about Path of Exile 2 should stay proportional to what has actually been shown. Another useful signal is consistency. If attention disappears after one viral upload, the trend may be temporary. If new videos keep performing and more players continue searching for Path of Exile 2, the story becomes much more interesting. For anyone deciding whether to play, that distinction matters. A game can look exciting for 30 seconds and still need enough variety, progression, and replay value to hold attention for dozens of hours. The same idea applies to updates and betas. Early footage can change quickly, so features visible today may be balanced, expanded, or even removed before the final version of Path of Exile 2. What we can judge right now is the direction. The available footage shows what the developers want players to notice first, and that gives us a useful picture of the experience they are trying to build. It is also worth watching how the community reacts after people get hands-on time. First impressions often focus on visuals, while longer play sessions reveal performance issues, progression problems, balance, and the systems that actually keep people playing. For Path of Exile 2, the next few announcements could therefore matter just as much as the footage we have today. Release information, patch notes, beta results, and new demonstrations can quickly strengthen or weaken the current momentum. From a gaming news perspective, this is why Path of Exile 2 is worth following now instead of waiting until every channel is covering the same story. The interesting stage is often the period when the signals are building, but the conversation is not yet completely saturated. None of that guarantees success. Gaming trends move quickly, and even games with strong trailers can lose momentum. The goal is simply to identify why attention is increasing and what evidence would confirm that the interest is becoming sustainable. So when new information arrives, the best comparison is not hype versus hype. It is new evidence versus what we already know about Path of Exile 2, especially changes in gameplay, player response, and the amount of real activity around the game. That gives us a much better way to follow the story over time, and avoids judging the entire game from a single viral moment.